The reigning Formula 1 World Drivers' Champion, Max Verstappen, has spent his winter break flying under the media radar, which is surprising for someone who just won their first World Drivers' Championship. But with all the noise around Lewis Hamilton's retirement story and the FIA investigation, he's somehow been forgotten about in the run-up to the 2022 season opener. But that changed recently when, in a shocking interview, Max Verstappen reignited his rivalry with Lewis Hamilton in the most brutal of manners. This one is gonna be big. Hey motorheads, glad to see you back on this racing track. Did you get road rage and need the scenic view of Formula 1 updates to relax? Then we're ready to drive you. So put on your seatbelts and join us as we chauffeur you through today's video. But before that, be that perfect speed freak by banging into the subscribe button. Alright, we're good to go. Normally, when a Formula 1 season finishes, the new World Drivers' Champion is the centre of attention before the next season. In any other year, we'd be asking things like, can Max Verstappen repeat his performance last year? Or will Red Bull be able to replicate their success in 2022? Something along the lines of who are the contenders and what they need to do to win again. This year, though, has been completely different. The entirety of Formula 1 media has been completely focused on the FIA and last year's runner-up Lewis Hamilton. There's a good reason for this, though. Lewis Hamilton isn't just a racing car driver anymore, he's a media icon. Lewis Hamilton's social media platform reaches more than 26 million people. So when he posts nothing for a few months, it's huge news. And the FIA has opened a wide-reaching investigation into the events of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, which has already resulted in the firing of Michael Masi, and could very well result in some pretty major rule changes. By now, you know all the ins and outs of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix and its controversial last few laps. We've heard opinions on whether Lewis Hamilton will retire or not from literally everyone who's ever seen a Formula 1 car. So, I'm not going to go into detail on those again. If you've missed out on any of the news though, you can go and check out some of our other videos when you finish watching this one. Lewis Hamilton has returned to the public eye for the first time in 2 months following the controversial end to last year's World Championship. Hamilton has not spoken since losing out on a record 8th world title to Red Bull's Max Verstappen in last December's Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. It's this radio silence that first started the retirement rumours, but now they're no more. The Mercedes driver posted on Twitter saying, "I've been gone, now I'm back." Hamilton's message, accompanied by a picture of the 37-year-old at the Grand Canyon wearing typically flamboyant trousers, was preceded on Saturday by a similarly cryptic message from his Mercedes team. Mercedes posted a tweet of Hamilton posing in his race overalls and holding his crash helmet, accompanied by the words, "Keep rising." The only thing we can think this may be a reference to is the mythical Phoenix, burning to ashes and then rising to live again. That might be a little over the top from the Mercedes team though. After Hamilton's own message, Mercedes posted a further tweet accompanied by a picture of the words "He is back" trending on Twitter. The team wrote, "That's right." And just like that, with nothing more than a 6-word tweet, Lewis has managed to dispel all the rumours of his retirement. Bet you're glad that story is coming to an end. But Lewis Hamilton hasn't been the only one keeping quiet over the winter break. Max Verstappen has managed to have a relaxed winter break away from the bright media lights, thanks to Lewis's own hibernation. If Mercedes are calling Lewis a phoenix rising from the Abu Dhabi-shaped ashes, then Max Verstappen should be seen as a bear coming out of hibernation because he is hungry for blood. In his first media appearance since winning in the 2021 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, Max Verstappen went straight for Lewis Hamilton and gave some pretty scathing opinions on the British driver's behaviour. Before I tell you what Max had to say, we have an exciting opportunity for you. Whoever gives the most interesting opinion or argument in the comment section of this video about what Max Verstappen says will get their comment featured in one of our upcoming videos. So, you ready for this? Max's interview with The Guardian, an English newspaper, was both honest and blunt in the most traditional Formula 1 way. He spoke about the crash at Silverstone, Lewis Hamilton's behaviour after Abu Dhabi, and the FIA investigation. There is a lot to unpack here, so let's go one subject at a time. Starting off with the FIA investigation. When asked about his World Drivers' Championship win and whether he was worried about what effect the FIA investigation might have on it, he said, "Yeah, but they can't do anything." The Dutch driver explained regardless of what the report reveals, he feels his championship win was fully deserved. "Not at all," he commented. "I had a very good season, and I think I really deserved to win it. I've been really unlucky as well. People always remember the last race, but if you look at the whole season, the championship should have been decided way earlier." Max is probably right in what he says as well. At this point, there is no chance that the FIA is going to do anything to change the outcome of the 2021 season. It would put the sport into so much turmoil that it might never come out the other side. But what do you think of his opinion about him deserving the 2021 F1 title? Well, if you look at the stats, you have to say he probably was a deserving winner. He led 652 laps in 2021. Lewis Hamilton led just 297. The entire rest of the grid only managed 348 between them. He managed 18 podium finishes, which is the most ever achieved by a driver in a single Formula 1 season. And if you add the finishing time of every race over the 2021 season together, he would have beaten Lewis Hamilton with 9 seconds to spare over the 5,487 kilometers raced last year. Max also spoke about how Lewis had behaved after losing out on his record-breaking 8th title. "Yeah, but just look back on the 7 you have. I don't think it's so bad, is it?" Verstappen brutally pointed out. "For me, it's difficult to picture myself in that situation because I'm not a 7-time world champion," he continued. "If I was already a 7-time world champion, it hurts a bit less than when I'm fighting for my first, leading all the way, controlling it all the way, and then losing it on the last lap. That would be way more painful than already having 7 in the bag." If you watch the interview, Max literally shrugs when asked about whether he thinks Lewis Hamilton feels hurt or not. This response reminds us at F1 Reverse of the old days of Formula 1, before media training turned every driver into a semi-likeable but rather bland personality. Max doesn't care at all if Lewis is upset about the 2021 season ended. And why should he? Having won his first World Drivers' Championship and finally ending the Mercedes dominance of the hybrid era, the last thing he should be worried about is whether raining on Lewis's parade has hurt his feelings or not. I'm sure he would love some attention to be given to how well he drove in the 2021 season, instead of the actions of Michael Massey that helped him secure his first championship title. Finally, and we think most interestingly, he talks about the 2021 Silverstone crash. The collision between Max and Lewis on the first lap of the Silverstone Grand Prix left the Dutch driver in hospital. Hamilton tried to force his way down the inside at Copse Corner. The brick clipped Verstappen's rear wheel, and the Red Bull spun off the track and smashed into the barriers at 180 miles an hour. Team principal Christian Horner accused Hamilton of dirty driving at the time, and Verstappen highlighted the event as his lowest moment of the 2021 season. "It was the most painful one of all. It was tough points-wise, but literally, it was very painful," Verstappen told The Guardian. "My neck, my back, my shoulders. I'm quite tough, and I can take a hit, but it's not good for your body or your brain to have an impact like that. I got home, and for 4 days, I wasn't watching TV or doing any sim racing because your brain has to rest." Asked if it motivated Red Bull to win the World Championship, Verstappen continued, "No, I don't think we work like that. It's disrespectful what happened there, but we looked at what we could have done better. Once we came back from the break as a team, we really did a good job because we won races in the second half of the season we shouldn't have won." So there you have it. Max Verstappen thinks Lewis's actions at Silverstone were disrespectful. He isn't interested in how upset Lewis might be after losing out on his 8th World Championship title. And he has well and truly reignited the greatest F1 rivalry in recent years. The 2022 season is shaping up to be one of the most exciting seasons in F1 history, and we cannot wait. That's all for today's video. Do you think Max needs to be worried about the FIA investigation? Should he be more mindful of Lewis's feelings? And do you agree about Max's thoughts on Lewis's celebrations at Silverstone last year? Whatever your thoughts, share them in the comments section down below and join the conversation. And remember that the best ones will get featured and dissected in an upcoming video. On your way out of our pit box, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and hit that notification bell to be sure you don't miss out on any of our content. Till we see you next time, drive safe and bye bye.